I've played Wuthering Waves for the past 120 days, and during this time, I've never wished on the standard, limited, weapon, standard weapon, beginner, or even the free 5-star banner. In this video, I showcase my no-wish account, see what happens when you don't wish on Wuthering Waves, see how far into the game I can go, and how many Asterites do I currently have. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, want to consider dropping a like and a sub, but otherwise. Starting off with the characters, as you can see, I've got 6 characters. Everything you see here is obtainable without wishing, and the specific method of how I got various items will be at the bottom of the screen in a white subtitle text. First thing first, where is Baizhi? Didn't you have to go through the wishing menu during the tutorial? Why do I not have Baizhi? As you can see, there's a timer which expires once you are on the menu for a certain amount of time. After the timer expires, you can simply leave the menu without getting Baizhi. So this explains why I only have 6 characters and not 7. Moving on to the actual characters, we've got HavocMC, quite strong for a free-to-play unit, 66 to 68. He's running Emerald of Genesis, my one and only 5-star weapon, which everyone gets by reaching Union level 45 through a 5-star weapon selector. I chose this sword since it's a great DPS weapon for HavocMC, about 200 or so extra damage just by having a 5-star weapon. Echoes, he's running 5-piece Havoc, and as you can see, these stats are pretty solid all around. Kinda have to be maxed when you're trying to push endgame content as much as possible. Fortes are maxed, and they have been for a while ever since version 1.1 dropped, and HavocMC is on Resonance Chain 3, which is the maximum you could get as of the release of this video in version 1.2. Real quick on SpectroMC, I do have a set for him for specific circumstances, such as tackling enemies, having a strong Havoc element resistance, or tackling Illusive Realm where SpectroMC is actually quite good in that specific game mode. SpectroMC is one of the few ways I can heal in Wuthering Waves, so he does have his niche uses, but overall, the higher damage output from HavocMC is just way too good to pass up. This is why he is on the Havoc element. Next up, we got Sanghua. You get her by playing for 5 days in Wuthering Waves, and she's a great support character to have to regain energy for your main damage dealers. Running the free 4-star weapon you get from the pre-registration mail reward, and running 5-piece Moonlit Clouds for the 22.5% attack buff. Substats wise, they're alright. They don't need to be the best as they are meant to buff main DPSs, but they do have respectable substats to ensure they deal good damage whenever they are on field. But otherwise, Fortes are 8, 8, 10, 10, 8, and R0 since you only get one free copy of Sanghua on the no pool account. Chixia's next. You get her by playing through the main story quest, and she's a great main damage dealer for a 4-star character. 62, 221, running the free-to-play craftable pistol from the blacksmith since the weapon effect pairs well with her playstyle. Running 5-piece Molten for the extra attack. The Echoes can do with more energy recharge since she's the only character out of this account to require 150 energy to perform her Resonance Liberation, but otherwise, Chixia is a great character to have and adds on to any team for some extra damage. Fortes are maxed as she was a main DPS, and R0 since you only get one copy of her from the main story quest. Next up, we have Yangyang. Like Chixia, you get her by just playing through the main quest, and like Sanghua is a great support character for any team. This is especially true since Yangyang's Forte circuit grants lots of Concreto energy, which is used to trigger intro and outro skill buffs, not to mention her outro skill buff grants energy to the next character. She's running a placeholder free-to-play craftable sword from the blacksmith. Usually I will swap this out with other available swords as it is not common for me to run HavocMC, Sanghua and Yangyang together, but it's just there if for some reason I need to run this team. Like Sanghua, she's running 5-piece Moonlit to buff main DPSs, slightly different 3-piece since Yangyang's on a different element, but otherwise Fortes are 79997 and R0 since you only get one copy of her during the main story quest. Next up, we've got Xiangli Yao. This is the free unit anyone can get by playing during version 1.2, and it does not count as a wish since you get him from the events tab. He's on 66, 242, running the free-to-play craftable gauntlets from the blacksmith, which can work if you can dodge during his rotations. He's running 5-piece lingering tunes, mainly due to the 4 energy echo being really powerful in tackling Tower of Adversity, and I've already got most of the lingering pieces ready from previous versions. I did have a 5-piece Electro set with Tempest Memphis as the main piece, but from my testing, especially against multiple enemies, the Mechanical Abomination's echo skill is just way too good to pass up. Fortes are maxed since Xiangli Yao is a main DPS, and R0 since you only get one copy for free from claiming him in a limited time event. And last but not least, we've got Yuanwu. You get him by clearing the Tower of Adversity stable zone, and he's running hybrid builds depending on where I am using him in Wuthering Waves. Regardless of builds, I do have a second copy of the free-to-play gauntlets specifically for him since I use him with Xiangli Yao quite often. Quick note on the 3-star healing gauntlet, that weapon is not available without wishing. The 3-star gauntlet from the blacksmith grants additional resonance liberation damage, which is not the 3-star healing gauntlet. Builds wise, he's currently running 5-piece Moonlit since he was last used as a support with Xiangli Yao, but I do swap it with 5-piece Lingering if I have to play Yuanwu as a main DPS. Fortes are respectfully built since I've only got 6 characters, and he's on R0 since you only get 1 copy from the Tower of Adversity. But otherwise, that's it from the characters, and let's move on to the next section. Moving on to the weapons, as you can see, there are no battle pass weapons. Everything you see here is obtainable by just playing the game without wishing or making any purchases. For the 5-star weapon, as mentioned, this was obtained from the 5-star weapon selector you get from reaching Union level 45. The 4-star weapons are all obtained by crafting at the blacksmith within the exception of the Commando of Conviction and the Dauntless Evernight. Commando of Conviction you get from the pre-registration reward under a free 4-star weapon selector, and Dauntless Evernight you get by exploring in the area where the Infernal Rider boss fight resides. You do get a 4-star weapon selector from an NPC shop, but it is no different from crafting since the 4 stars you get are the 4-star craftables you get from using weekly materials. The 3-star weapons were all obtained by just playing through the game as a quest reward or through exploring. I don't use them at the moment since there's no buffing capabilities from the 3-star weapons. There may be a case in the future where 3-star weapons may be helpful, but until then, that's all the weapons that I've got, and let's move on to the endgame content. Endgame progression in Wuthering Waves is dictated by 2 game modes. Tactical Holograms focusing on learning enemy patterns, and Tower of Adversity where you obtain stars based on how quickly you can clear content. Let's start with the Tactical Holograms, and as you can see, everything has been cleared. You can definitely clear this quicker with higher level team comps, but I've decided to leave it as it is, just to showcase that these were cleared back when the account was at a lower Union level. Crownless being an exception since it was released in version 1.1, and by then my characters were already within level 90 territory. Next up is the Tower of Adversity. This is where the main endgame content resides, and as you can see, I have completed Tower of Adversity with a max 30-star clear. The team comps required to meet the DPS check is extremely difficult to reach, and I have to run most floors with just 1 character. These later stage clears were often done with only a few seconds to spare, and there has been multiple instances where I got a 3-star clear with under a second to spare. Back in version 1.1, before getting Xiangli Yao, I was constantly stuck at 27 stars due to lacking characters to get the final 3 stars. But now, even with the free 5-star Xiangli Yao, meeting the DPS check for 30 stars is still really difficult to achieve, especially when you cannot make too many mistakes due to no healers on this account. It will definitely be interesting to see how long I can maintain the 30-star streak, considering the game's still pretty new and it is only to get harder from here. If you want to see the full clears of Tower of Adversity, you can find them at Noblesse Plus, which has the full duration clears of the hardest floors. Another game mode to consider is the Depths of Illusive Realm. This is a roguelike event game mode where you go through rooms leading to increasingly difficult boss fights to obtain rewards. I have completed the hardest difficulty in every single version thus far using SpectroMC since he's great with this game mode and is available for everyone. But it will definitely be interesting to see what Kuro games will release in terms of endgame content, especially since we are still in version 1.2. We're now going to the wishing menu and have a detailed look at my Asterite count as well as the amount of wishing currencies I have at the moment. And as you can see, I currently have 39,706 Asterites, 156 Nostrious Tide, 59 Radiant Tide, and 15 Forging Tides, all obtained by just playing through Wuthering Waves. As of the release of this video, I have 51,546 Asterites worth of limited event wishes, but if you include the standard wishes, this number will go as high as 76,506 Asterites worth of wishes, which is enough for around 478 wishes across various banners. 6 characters, 233 achievements, all story and endgame content cleared, all exploration based content cleared. Everything can be cleared without ever interacting with the wishing menu, including obtaining maximum stars in the Tower of Adversity. It has been a crazy journey to go through, but the journey is far from over. Wuthering Waves max rank is Union level 80, and it will be a while before I hit this rank without wishing on any banners. While this is going on, Zelda Zone Zero's own not wishing video is in the process, and I'll be hitting Genshin Impact's biggest no wishing milestone before the end of the year. If you want to see me go through these accounts, why not consider dropping a like and a sub? But otherwise, check out my second channel if you want to see additional content.